You would think that professional services companies were some of the most cost-efficient organisations in the world. Well, think again. Because what they say to their clients and what they do in practice are often completely different. Imagine a business with a whole host of talented people, all with their own theories and areas of expertise. It's certain that the basics of administration and a requirement to follow cumbersome systems are not going to be top of their priority list. So, when approaching these apparently impressive organisations, have no fear, because you will soon realise that the financial pain points are everywhere. For example, non-optimal use of client-facing consultants. In organisations with multiple layers of skills and experience, it is important to match the right resource to the right client's problem and generate the right margin for the business. If this is not managed effectively, then in the long run, this can also damage client satisfaction. Taking too long to reconcile and execute billing. Busy consultants operating in the field are less likely to record information if time and expenditure systems aren't easy to use. If work doesn't get recorded at all, then it's permanently lost margin. Another impact here is the speed of the billing. Invoices raised in a period which is later than when the work was completed can also affect cash collection, by many months in some cases. The interest on this can be quite significant, really. Lack of visibility into and control of projects. Professional services businesses may already be very profitable, but this overall profit position may hide a number of individual projects which are actually loss makers. So, with new ERP, we can match the right resource to the right problem, making better use of internal staff first and keeping our own staff fully utilised saves on expensive subcontractors and consultants. Produce invoices immediately after the work is completed, thereby reducing the chance of errors and getting the invoice into the customer's ledger for payment as quickly as possible. ERP functionality also allows the identification of individual project profitability, thereby protecting the margins from the profitable engagements and focusing on improving the loss makers. Remember that any improvements here will all fall straight to the bottom line. So what could all these benefits be worth? Let's assume we have a customer with 200 consultants who generate €500,000 in fees. That's a €100 million organisation, probably already very profitable. But how much could these 3 ERP benefits be worth to the client? Well, let's look at time and cost billing first. If new systems will capture just 0.25% more time and cost than would otherwise be lost, then that's worth more than €20,000 per month, or €250,000 per annum. This is assuming we only capture an additional €1 in 400 through better recording systems. Allocation of resources. Let's assume that more appropriate resources are used for jobs. Allocating the right resource to the right job could improve margins, again by 0.25%. So then that could also be worth €250,000 per annum. Finally, cash collection. Let's assume that for 1/10 of the business we now invoice in the right month and say 30 days cash collection. The interest alone on this would be worth over €4,000 per month. By gaining sponsorship for these 3 key areas using minimum likely benefits, then over a 3-year period with a 10% cost of money, this has a business value of over €1.4 million. Some businesses have contracts with their own customers that allow for the charging of additional materials, parts and labour essential for the completion of quoted work. Imagine a quantity surveyor working on a building site who needs to replace some door frames. For the specified quality of frame, the contract price is €100. But unfortunately, it isn't available any longer. So, a new alternative frame must be used. But this will cost €200. Now the end customer has agreed that this replacement can be used. But how do we administer this new price and specification? without a whole load of paperwork. It's very difficult, and the surveyor may not consider it all that important. Almost too much trouble for too little benefit. Now, new ERP systems linked to PDAs, for example, could be used to identify and charge these items right at the site level, meaning these relatively small chargeable items can be picked up and billed automatically without the need for extensive paperwork. What's the benefit in that, I hear you ask? Well, it's actually all margin. If it was 500 door frames in our example, that's €50,000, a good part of the cost of any ERP solution. So to finish, here is a reminder of the key financial benefits for professional services.